Welcome to the Make It a Better Day podcast. I'm Matthew.
Hey everyone, I'm Laura. I'm thrilled to be here discussing a topic close to my heart: feline wisdom, cat care lessons for a better day. Ever wonder what your cat is really trying to teach you? Today, we're unpacking surprising lessons in contentment, boundaries, and joy, all inspired by our favorite four-legged philosophers.
I love that perspective. The article centers around a beautiful quote from Rod McEwen that really captures the essence of cats. Cats have it all: admiration, and endless sleep, and company only when they want it. Every time I read that, I think, no wonder they always look so satisfied with life.
It's so true. My cat Oscar perfectly demonstrates this philosophy. Just yesterday, he was sprawled across my keyboard while I was on a work call, completely unbothered and absolutely certain that his nap was more important than my meeting.
Classic cat move. And it perfectly illustrates that first element the article mentions, that self-assured presence cats naturally have. They never seem to doubt themselves or worry about what others think, do they?
Never. And I think that's one reason we're so drawn to them. There's something refreshing about creatures that are so completely, unapologetically themselves. When we understand this about cats, we can provide care that honors their natural confidence instead of trying to make them behave like, well, not cats.
That reminds me of the example in the article about Luna, the aloof cat who became more affectionate when her family created quiet retreats. Have you seen similar transformations in your experience with cats?
Absolutely. My sister rescued a cat who spent the first week hiding under the bed. Everyone told her, just drag him out, he needs to socialize. But instead, she created little safe spaces throughout the house and gave him time. Within a month, he was voluntarily joining the family in the living room, but on his terms.
That's such a powerful example. And it ties perfectly into that second part of McEwen's quote, that endless sleep bit, which, let's be honest, might be the most enviable cat superpower of them all.
I know, right? My veterinarian once told me that cats sleep 12 to 16 hours daily, and it's not laziness, it's actually essential for their health. I used to feel guilty about my cat sleeping all day while I worked, but now I realize he's just doing exactly what he's supposed to do.
It's funny how we project our human values onto them, isn't it? Jackson Galaxy, who the article mentions, has really pioneered this approach of seeing the world through a cat's eyes rather than expecting them to see it through ours.
His work has been revolutionary. I remember watching an episode where he transformed what seemed like an aggressive cat by simply providing appropriate hunting outlets. The cat wasn't being difficult, he just had intense predatory energy with nowhere to direct it.
That brings us to the third element of the quote, company only when they want it. This is probably the toughest concept for many cat owners to embrace, especially when you just want to cuddle your fluffy friend.
Oh, I struggled with this one. I adopted Milo thinking he'd be my lap cat companion during movie nights. But he had other ideas. Learning to respect his boundaries was challenging, but the interesting twist? Once I stopped pursuing him for attention, he actually started seeking me out more often.
There's a profound life lesson in there, isn't there? By respecting independence, we often create the space for deeper connection. Speaking of which, the article outlines several practical strategies: creating cat sanctuaries, establishing routines, reading body language, and providing mental stimulation. Which has been most transformative in your experience?
Without question, learning to read body language. Understanding that a slow blink is essentially a cat saying I love you, or that a twitching tail tip often means I'm getting overstimulated, not excited, completely transformed my interactions. Suddenly, we were having actual conversations. What about you?
For me, it was establishing consistent routines. My cat used to wake me at 4:30 a.m. every morning with increasingly dramatic tactics, knocking things off shelves, meowing directly into my ear. Once I implemented a regular schedule for feeding and play, those dawn wake-up calls magically disappeared.
Amazing how solving these issues often comes down to understanding their needs rather than trying to change their behavior, isn't it? And speaking of understanding needs, the article's emphasis on mental stimulation really resonated with me.
Tell me more about that. How have you incorporated mental enrichment into your cat care routine?
I started using puzzle feeders last year instead of regular bowls, and the transformation was remarkable. Before, my cat would inhale her food in seconds and then seem bored and restless. Now she spends 15 to 20 minutes working for her meals, and afterward, she's noticeably more content and relaxed. It taps into those natural hunting instincts they still carry.
That's fascinating. I think that's why the article's whisker challenge is so brilliant, making just one small upgrade to your cat care routine and observing the impact. It doesn't have to be complicated or expensive to make a real difference.
Exactly. Sometimes the simplest changes have the most dramatic effects. Even just rotating toys weekly to keep things fresh or adding a cardboard box with holes cut in it can create days of new entertainment.
And the beautiful thing is, these improvements in our cats' lives often enhance our own well-being too. There's something deeply satisfying about seeing our pets content and thriving.
Absolutely. I've noticed that on days when my cats are peaceful and engaged, the whole household feels more harmonious. Their contentment really is contagious.
As we start wrapping up, I'm curious, what's one piece of feline wisdom from the article that you think applies most to human life?
I'd say it's that balance cats naturally maintain between independence and connection, between activity and rest. They don't overthink it, they simply honor their needs in each moment. In our hyper-busy, always connected world, there's profound wisdom in that approach to living.
So whether it's admiration, endless sleep, or solitude on their terms, maybe cats really do have it all. And maybe, if we're paying attention, we can too.
Beautifully put. And for listeners wanting to explore these ideas further, you'll find the complete article, this podcast, and an accompanying video on the Make It a Better Day website.
We also have some delightful cat and animal-inspired merchandise in our Redbubble store that celebrates the wisdom our feline friends bring to our lives.
And we'd love to hear about your experiences applying these lessons. What small changes have transformed your cat's life or your own?
Thanks for joining us on Make It a Better Day. Until next time, remember that sometimes the wisest teachers have whiskers and take really good naps.
See you next time.